Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new WWE 13 video, and I went on the THQ website about 8 o'clock this morning and I saw some new screenshots and went on YouTube and just had a look, and I realised that there's nobody that's actually done a review of these screenshots yet, but they are brand stinking new and there's not a lot to tell, but I'm just going to go through them a little bit and just say that there is some new screenshots. Now the superstars that we can see in them are of course CM Punk, Stone Cold getting GTS'd, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Sheamus, The Miz, and of course Mankind. Now in the first photo you can see CM Punk's giving a GTS to Stone Cold. It's got all the beautiful graphics with his tattoos and his new pants and everything. Looks really good, and how Stone Cold is just staring at the camera. The crowd look a lot more alive than they have been in recent WWE games. As you can see, there is a lady with her hands up. There is also some official branded t-shirts. So you've got the Awesome, the Miz t-shirt, Rise Above Hate t-shirt for John Cena, and they all look like they're actually looking at the superstars. They also aren't like copied and pasted. You've all got different people. I can't see anybody that looks the same in that, except the kind of same coloured t-shirts, but they're all different people with them t-shirts. So it looks really good. They've also been working on the visual presentation of the WWE 13 game, as we already know. Now, moving on to the next picture, you can obviously see the Raw Arena with the stage and everything, and obviously they're probably not going to be using the new Raw Arena that we've been seeing in Raw 1000 and plus, so that means that they're not going to update it, and we're going to get the old one until WWE 14, which is a little bit of a shame, but you can't expect them to make the whole new one in a little bit amount of time. So we're going to be getting the old stage and the old logo, and probably the old theme song, which is a little bit of a shame, and it's a bit annoying that they're not going to be up to date with the current WWE, but we can't expect all that from them. You can also see Chris Jericho is doing a nice moonsault, and it looks like he's hanging from string on the angle that he's actually doing the moonsault onto Punk, but it all looks really clean and beautiful, and his tattoos on Punk, like I've said, and Chris Jericho's hair is still spiked up, which looks awesome. The lighting and everything looks really professional. So now moving on to the next photo, and as you can see Mark Henry in his old WWE attire from Nation of Domination, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner there is actually a fan pointing at Mark Henry, lifting Chris Jericho up really high, and that just shows you how good this game probably will be with interaction and professionalism. Now everything looks good on the physical side. You can see Chris Jericho's arms are in the air, and it actually looks like he's being lifted with his legs movement and everything like that. You can just see that it looks like he's actually being lifted, even though it is a still image, and with the positioning of Mark Henry's legs and the angriness of his face, it all looks like he's actually lifting him, which is great. But apart from that huge slam Mark Henry's going to give Chris Jericho, there isn't really a lot to say about that picture except what I've already said. So moving on to the next picture is of Sheamus and The Miz, and The Miz's colouring of his skin looks a bit too shaded, which is a bit weird, and Sheamus looks like a milk bottle as usual, but they're both fighting in the corner. It looks like Miz is just going to give him a huge blow, but he's actually missed it, which is awesome, which may mean that there may be special reversals like in the corner where the leg actually misses and it just carries on trailing, and it actually looks like the ropes are being lifted in a normal way. Sometimes when the superstars were getting in the previous WWE games, the ropes would lift when they're not even being touched by a superstar. It actually looks like Sheamus is touching it and the ropes are actually moving with him, which is awesome. You can also see the usual lighting embracing the superstars, and I love Sheamus's new attire, which is really sick, and you can also see Jerry King Lawler and Michael Cole giving their reactions at ringside, which is pretty cool as well. I also love Miz's facial reactions. You can't see Sheamus's, but I'm pretty sure it'll be angry and gangster-like as well. So moving on to the last picture, and we've already seen pictures like this of course, it's Mankind and Stone Cold from the Attitude Era in the new WWE ring, as you can see with the white ropes. Now as you can see, he is giving Stone Cold Mr. Socko into the mouth, and if you can see in the crowd there is also a Cena Sucks t-shirt and a guy with a very nice checkered t-shirt, so it all works for the visual presentation. But the thing I did notice is that Mankind seems to be a bit taller than he should be, because Stone Cold is obviously a pretty tall guy and Mankind is known to be pretty small, but he seems a little bit too big, to be honest. And if you look at his mask, it kind of looks like it's symmetrical on each side, so each side is exactly the same. But if you look up in this picture here, one side his eye is more covered up than the other side. I'm not sure if you can quite see it from this WWE 13 screenshot, but I think it kind of looks like both sides are symmetrical. I'm not really sure, I can't really tell, but hopefully it's going to look more like the picture I've just shown up there. And I think it'd be pretty cool if you could see his Dude Love t-shirt ripped open, which would be cool as well. And his t-shirt looks too short as well. Usually when you're watching Mankind, he usually had his t-shirt down to his shoes, but no, really, he did used to have his t-shirt right drooped down, and he really looked kind of hardcore and everything, but it looks like they've just cut it way too short on this picture, which doesn't look as good as it could do. But that's my opinion, guys. Hopefully you have the same opinions, but if you don't, just comment and just say what you want, really. This has just been a little bit of a review of the pictures. Hopefully I'm the first guy to put this up. I'm not sure if I am, but hopefully you've enjoyed, and hopefully I'm going to be bringing more if they do bring screenshots out. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and goodbye.